Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to
Everything
entertainment.
Yeah.
So, sis, you are up first. What do you have?
So, everything is about social media here recently with the upcoming TikTok. Is it staying in America? Is it not?
Yes.
But the main...
That's actually one of my topics. But okay.
The main thing the main influencer who has been blowing up is Mr. Beast. He is he's the main influencer. He's the influencer of all influencers. He's like Kylie status.
Okay.
When it comes to that. So if anybody doesn't know anything about Mr. Beast, he is one of the top influencers who goes around and gives people money. That's all he does.
He does other stuff.
I mean, mainly, but
yeah.
All of his stuff is giving money away to people.
Yeah.
He's always giving money away.
And he might have people do different tactics and
Yeah.
play different games or do different things. Yeah.
So now Amazon has a show with him called Beast Games.
Beast Games. Okay.
Yeah. So now he's the guy who's giving away money. And they're calling it the Beast Games, but it's just like Squid Games.
Uh-huh.
So instead of Squid Games, it's Beast Games.
Okay.
And it starts off with 1,000 people, all in challenge for $5 million.
Nice.
Just like
I wonder how much he's worth.
Squidward. I'm Squidward. Squid Game.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out if they're gonna get sued for this. This is so close to it. It's like you all get to go and stay in a place. Everybody has numbers on, like the Squid Games, and it's a whole thing. So it starts off with 1,000 people. Then they have to do some games. There's some things that can go ahead and get you down to get you kicked out. And at the end of the first episode, they're down to like 470 something people.
Right.
From 1,000.
Wow. At the end of the first game.
The end of the first episode.
So 600 people basically almost almost 600 got kicked out. Wow. It says here that he is worth $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
And that's crazy for somebody who literally started, like nobody knew him from anything, and he's a YouTube person.
Yeah.
And you go from YouTube to a billion.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. All right.
In the wrong profession, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what they do is they have options, and all the options that they have are very appetizing to you.
Okay.
Because it's like, hey, if you push this button, you can leave with $1 million.
Oh.
But if other people keep pushing this button, because like this is the first thing that they have up, if other people push the button, then it just goes down and divides depending on.
So if 600 people push the button, then you split $1 million amongst 600 people.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So everybody's like standing there like, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. And you see the dude just, bro, I'm doing it. It's $1 million. Like, it's like one guy was like, if I go to casino, I'm not even getting good odds like that. It's like, no, I'm taking this. I'm taking this. So then more and more people go down, and then it ends up being, can't remember. It's like 800 and some people or something like that, or 900 and some people left.
Oh, okay.
Then they have another thing. Oh, you can go home for this amount.
Well, let's see. How much is that people can get? Okay, so $1 million, and let's say you have 65 people who push it. If you said 900 and something are left, right? So that means that some of those people left out with, like, it doesn't sound like a lot, but like $15,000.
Yeah, but that's $15,000 you didn't
more
have
than
when
they
you
had
came
before
in,
they got there.
and then you don't know for sure if you're going to make it.
You get all the way to the end, right? And you could leave with nothing. So yeah.
So they have a couple of different things that are like that. It's like, ooh, maybe I should just go ahead and do this. Well, it's up to how much now but they're also, each row is a team. So like, oh, this row right here is a team. So now if you don't know everybody in your row, and the rows go forever, as long as the rows are.
Yeah.
It's like, well, get to know the people in your row, because now it's a new challenge. You got 10 minutes to figure out if somebody else is going to go. Then it's like you got 10 minutes to figure out if somebody else is going to go. And then there's like little challenges. They have one challenge is taking foam shapes and stacking them up on top of another shape.
Okay.
But you have to stack up all of the foam, and it can't drop.
Okay.
One guy was an idiot. He stacked his up, and then he's standing on the platform trying to bounce to see if it was going to fall. To make sure it's not going to fall, because where they're standing at is a trap door.
Oh, okay.
So once you hit the button, it drops you down.
Okay.
Like that's what you hear.
Okay.
And you see people looking down, and they're like, "Oh snap!"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you don't know how far they're dropping, but you hear them screaming.
It's like a slide, probably, or something.
I don't know what it is, but yeah. So, it's a lot of people who are just, you're supposed to be working with teammates, and it's like, but I don't know the teammate that's
So what happened to his phone with him jumping up and down? It fell?
Yeah, it fell.
And then he was out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends. So with the foam, if anything falls off of your podium, you're out.
Oh, okay.
But if it just falls around it, you can pick it up
and do it
but you can't reach over in somebody else's.
Yeah.
So like if my stuff fell off of my platform and like 2 pieces on yours,
it's yours now.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
You're out. But can they use those pieces to make theirs taller? Oh, okay.
They don't have to make it taller.
Oh,
it just has to be.
It just has to be sturdy,
stable. Yep.
Stable. Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can see where it could not be an infraction to what happened with Squid Games because it's just. Were there even other shows that might have had contestants with numbers or a place that people had to stay or whatever the case may be? But the games themselves aren't exactly like Squid Game games. So therefore it's like, oh, this is just a different variety of tasks and tests that we have people doing.
Well, I mean, whatever it is.
I don't know.
It sounds like.
It. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. But yeah, I just started into the second episode and I was like, this is so much like Squid Games. It kind of like some parts make me kind of cringe because I'm like, there are people who are out there who actually like need this money. One lady was crying. She was like, her row was disqualified all because of one person, and she was like, I just want the money so I can retire my parents and I can be able to live a good life with my kids.
And she didn't get it because of the team.
Because one person in that row is probably 60, 70 people deep.
Oh, wow.
So the whole row, So there was whole rows of people. Yeah. So that's how you get from 1,000 people to 400.
Yeah. Well,
people.
And you can't in the first episode, and you can't control everybody, and it is all working together, which everybody isn't good at working together. So yeah. Oh well. But I mean, the other part to this is that this is real, and Squid Games, of course, wasn't.
True. So nobody's dying.
But it feels more personal. That's what I was going to say. Because of the fact that you're like, but these are people's experiences.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
These are people who really want to. Almost like the one that I watched that was the Squid Games reality show. That was the opposite of that. Remember they had that real show where regular people came and did the Squid games. Yeah. The Squid Game Challenge, I think it was called.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but that one was pretty good. But you heard people's stories and you were like, man, I hope they get it.
And no.
They don't.
Exactly. So it's like that. And I'm like, man, how does Mr. Beast feel about this? Like, is this all fun to him, or is he actually like? Because he's a guy who will give away money.
Humanitarian.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's actually him, or if this show is actually him.
Is he on the show?
Yeah, he's the host.
He's the host? Okay, no, I was just wondering. I mean, obviously it's okay with him if he's hosting it and not doing something special to give people a second chance.
Yeah, but I don't know that because I haven't got to the end. It could be at the end. He's like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and give everybody $1 million.
Or bring people back and have people come back into the game who were kicked out or something like that. Yeah, you never know.
I don't know for sure. But so far, I mean, it seems kind of cool, but I don't know if it would be cringy for me to watch it all the way through. I might just go ahead and watch the last episode and see what happens. Okay. So that's a watch it or no.
Watch it or no. Okay.
Watch it or no.
And where are you watching this?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
The Beast Games on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
What do you have, ma'am?
So I should play It's So Hard.
Do you want to play it?
To say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take... No, let me stop. But it's all about TikTok, y'all. So for those of you who don't know, I am a TikToker. And so I am on TikTok a few days a week. I have been for over a year. I'm on there to look at things, but I'm also on there live a few days a week. There it is. Oh, she's going to play in the background. Okay. And so, but I'm there a few days a week live. I post on there almost every day. Mm-hmm. And so it's my space, right? Yeah. I am okay with whatever happens. Okay. I have a following out there, but it's not like it's a bunch of people that I always see in my room every single time that I go out there. And that's what we call it. We call it rooms. So whenever you go live and people come into your space and they show up in your live stream, then we call it your room. So, so I have people who come in the room. I have a consistent group of core crew. But it's not like it's hundreds of people, right? Now you have other people. No, okay. I'm fine. Okay. Now let me stop. There you go. Yes. Yeah. And so for those of you who don't know, Congress voted and Biden approved months ago, I think it was last April, that we were going to ban TikTok. And the reason we were going to ban TikTok is because they felt as though there was a Chinese influence to TikTok, meaning one of two things. Either China now has access to Americans' information, like your social security number, because if you're getting paid from TikTok, guess what? You either have to give them your EIN for your business or your social security number. You also have to give your address. You they can see from your posts what your political affiliations are. And a bunch of other things, right? So you have that part of them just having way too much access to American information. Mind you, everything has way too much access to American information, right?
Yeah, we always have to approve or reject cookies and stuff.
Exactly. And so therefore everybody's like, well, what about Temu? What about Shein? What about this? What about that? So it's so many things that are based out of China. Why pick TikTok? So then that leads to the other reason why we really think that they wanted to target TikTok is because TikTok gives you the most information out of any platform in the world, meaning you find out what is really happening, not what the narrative is that the news media or the government wants you to know. So as an example, in the past, it's always been America for Israel. We've always been for Israel. Israel is the best. Israel is amazing. I was going to go on a trip to Israel. And then you get on TikTok and you see, but look at what Israel has actually done to the people in Hamas. Look at what Israel has done to the Muslim people, how they've kicked them out, how they've kept them from homes, how they've just taken over their land and their space. Of course, these people are going to want to fight back and get what they deserve and what they feel like from them. That is stolen from them and that is owed to them. And so therefore, when people, Americans, started saying, I'm for Palestine. I am not for Israel. And people were protesting and all that. They were like, whoa, 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 that's not our narrative. Yeah. We're supposed to be for Israel. We give money to Israel. We're going against the Muslims here. So why are you now saying you want to be on that side? Are you getting ready to become radicalized because of the fact that you're finding out all this information from the tickety-tock? And so based on that, I think that's the core. It is not about TikTok being owned by China. Number one,
we get to know too much.
Right. We get to know and find out way, way, way too much across the world. And so based on that, I think that's why they targeted TikTok. Plus, Americans are making a boatload of money on TikTok. I mean, when I say boatload, I'm talking about tens of thousands, some people hundreds of thousands of dollars with TikTok. And why would America want their people to be getting paid like that through these apps? Number one, there's not enough Americans to work these jobs because everybody's getting paid online.
Exactly.
So therefore, it's like, whoa, 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 we can't have you over here making all this money online. Like, we got to keep the rich and the po. Yeah. So we can't
stop being on your phone and start having babies because we need them to work for us. Isn't that what Elon Musk's mom said?
I can't. I can't.
She said that the people need to start going back to having babies.
Yeah. Well,
because there's so many jobs out here that need to be filled.
That need to be filled, and not by me, my family, but by you. We're going to own the companies that your babies will fill the jobs at. But
stay down there.
So basically, it's really all about that. It's all about the control, in my opinion, and it's all about the fact that they really don't want Americans to. Number one, I think that some people thought, well, you don't have to pay the taxes. It's a Chinese app. You don't pay the taxes. No, they've always collected the tax information, so you do have to pay taxes on what you earn on TikTok.
Which you would think they would be excited about that. Hey, we have money coming in.
Yeah, coming in.
And it's going to be into our economy. But it's like, no, now all these people are getting rich from what they're doing. So yeah,
we have way too many people who were average, everyday, middle class people.
This 1%'s getting small.
Yeah, the 1% is becoming 2 or 3 or 5 or 7 or 12%.
Yeah, it's too much.
And that's
too much.
No, this is messing up our whole ecosystem. And so the
ecosystem, right.
But the other part to it is, and this is what I found out from looking at a video after all of the Supreme Court, well, it's not all over, but all of the Supreme Court stuff, which by the time you hear this, it may be over. I don't know. The hearings will probably be over because of the fact that the last day is January 19th. So it will go dark on January the 19th if there aren't any kind of injunctions
Allegedly.
or anything else that will happen to
Allegedly.
make it, well, yes.
Yeah, allegedly.
Well, meaning by go dark, it can be one of two things. It can either mean that it literally is not existent. Like you go and click on it and it just sits there and thinks and it doesn't do anything, or going dark in regards to, yes, you can go out there, you can maneuver around, but you might not be able to go live. You might not be able to cash out any money you have in that app. You may not be able to.
Everybody cash out.
Oh, yeah, I cashed out like $200.
Yeah, cash it out.
I was like, wait, hold up. I got to cash out some stuff. So you got to do that. You know, if you want your TikTok shop stuff, hopefully if you order it now, you'll get it still. Yeah. I mean, if the order's already processed, it should come through.
I would hope so.
You don't want
a couple of things I paid $1 for that I'm waiting to come in.
Oh, well, there you go. One whole dollar. There you go. So, so those are the kind of, implications as well when I say go dark. But the thing is that some people, as of Thursday, there is a news story that says that the Biden administration is ready to sign a bill to say that they want to no longer ban TikTok.
Okay.
And the Trump administration has already said, after he realized that the TikTok app may have helped him to win, is, TikTok, I have a special place in my heart for TikTok now. Now, mind you, he was the person who was first starting to talk negatively about TikTok. It started this whole process in the first place during his first administration. And it didn't finish until later. And so based on that, and by the way, Biden signed it because of the fact that Congress, and you know how it is, Democrats want this, Republicans want that. And then when it comes to a bill, there was a humanitarian bill that was supposed to get passed. Well, they threw TikTok in there as part of the humanitarian bill. So in order for the Democrats to get what they wanted for the humanitarian bill, they had to agree to shut down TikTok from the Republican side. But nobody talks about that.
No.
So long story short, what ends up happening is Biden signed the bill, but now Biden is like, well, I'm okay with TikTok staying, actually. I didn't really want to sign that bill in the first place. It's just what y'all threw in there. And everybody else is like, no, Trump wants TikTok. And now I'm like, everybody knows that he was always talking about China the entire time he was in office. It was always about the China disease and everything that's going wrong with China. He's already talking about tariffs on China. So for everybody to think he loves China is a little weird to me.
Yeah, it's a little out there.
But it's more of, I want to win the favor of people if I keep TikTok. So therefore, all the people who didn't vote for me that are on TikTok, that are making money on TikTok, will be thrilled if I come in, be the savior, superhero, swoop in, save the day. And even if the Biden administration cuts this thing out on the 19th, I will come in on the 20th and I will reverse it all, because you can do something with an executive order that, I guess, even though it's with the Supreme Court, it doesn't matter. So here's the other reason, though, in my opinion, why they really want to stop people from leaving TikTok and keep TikTok in America. It's because Americans are petty. So petty. So when this came up about, we don't want to use TikTok because it's owned by China. Now, mind you, this is the other piece. No part of TikTok is owned by China. I know this is very hard to believe. I know this is very hard to believe. When I was watching the information after the Supreme Court trial hearings, and you had the actual attorneys from TikTok in a press conference with people from TikTok who were speaking in front of the Supreme Court, all of this is happening, and they literally are on there, and the lawyers are like, no part of this is owned by TikTok. Not ByteDance, not TikTok. No part of it is owned by China. Not ByteDance, not TikTok. Meaning, TikTok has corporate headquarters in California. TikTok also has some headquarters in New York. So people who are invited to TikTok go to California, New York. They don't go to China. So therefore, the U.S. operations are all handled within the U.S. The other side to this is that even ByteDance, that's owned by a conglomerate, meaning that it's a bunch of people, investors, probably venture capitalists, something like that, who all own their little small part of it. And there's one person who owns a part of it that was born in China, but he lives in Singapore. And he's like the head of it. So therefore they're like, oh, it's China. China's infiltrating our people. China is going to start creating people who are going to be spies on America. And China is going to get the next generation, not our generation. They're not worried about us, but they don't want the teenagers and the 8-year-olds and the 10-year-olds to grow up with a TikTok that they can now be infiltrated with and say, well, now
it's going to brainwash them.
Right. It's going to brainwash you so that when you go to work for the CIA later, you're going to want to do what China wants you to do. Or when you go to work for the FBI later, or go work for this energy company later, and you're in charge of a nuclear station, you're going to do what China wants you to do because they've gotten into your head and they've turned you, right? So that's the whole purpose of why they're trying to stop the infiltration of TikTok. So because Americans are petty, getting back to that point, guess what Americans did?
What?
They decided, you know what? I'm going to find the most Chinese app out here in the App Store.
Right.
And it's going to have Chinese writing. It's going to have everybody on the app speaking Chinese. And we're going to download it by hundreds of thousands.
And bring all your friends.
People.
Bring all your friends, please.
Literally, as of this week, it has been the #1 app downloaded in the App Store. It's called Red Note. And 700 million people have downloaded it. To the point that the poor people on Red Note already who are from China speaking Mandarin, they're just like, I guess I need to practice up on my English. Or I never used English on this app before, so now I'm going to start using my English. But basically, they're calling everybody TikTok refugees. And the refugees are coming over there, downloading the app, trying to figure it out. I have some friends of mine who have downloaded it. And it basically is all in Chinese. Like it is, your name gets changed to a Chinese name. So you don't see your own name. You just see Chinese symbols, for what your name is. How to navigate it and work it, nobody knows because it's all in Chinese. So it's like, can we post videos? I guess not. Can we go live? Maybe not. I can't tell because I can't read it. But everybody is very nice over there, they're saying. But the Chinese people are also like, look, you're visitors here. We'll accept you as refugees. However, don't be coming over here telling us, can't y'all speak English? Because this is our app. This is who we are. Right. So don't be your typical American people who go on vacation in Paris and then get mad because everybody over there doesn't speak English. Like that is the most ridiculous thing ever, right? You are in somebody else's territory. You are in somebody else's home. So therefore, they're just like, look, if you're respectful, we'll be respectful. If you want to be cray, we'll be cray. But we are welcoming you. Come on over. We got you. Now, the interesting thing is that America is typically the land of the free, the home of the brave, the melting pot, the place where we in the past had accepted everybody. in the past, accepted everybody, right? Yeah, that's you come over, you can get your visa, you can do this, you can do that, and be immigrant to America. Well, the interesting thing is that the people on Red Note are acting like the Americans are now social media immigrants to their site. Okay. So they're like, yeah, you're welcome, come in, but it's more like we are doing y'all a favor and you know that we have all these capabilities and things that you can have that you couldn't have in America. There's even conversations that are happening between people that are just eye-opening because the Chinese government literally does own this app. So therefore, it's very restrictive in regards to what you can and cannot say. Like people even use code words to talk about the president and things like that because you can't talk about the president. You will get shut down. So therefore, they have different code words and things that they're doing over there, which is going to be interesting because TikTok was already restrictive enough. So to have something like this that's even more restrictive is going to be interesting. But the thing is they're like, wait, you're telling me that you all, have to pay for healthcare? Like, we didn't know that. And they're like, oh, yeah, like, we have to pay for healthcare. And they're like, oh, my God, y'all silly Americans. Like, how are y'all the best country in the world when you have to pay for healthcare? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. You have people who are over there helping people with their English homework in China. There's people who are trying to learn Mandarin that are English. And so now the U.S. government has pushed at least 700 million people. I don't know how many more are going to go over there, but over to an app that, guess what? does exactly what they were fearful of doing. Having people give their information directly to China, and you have to open up everything to give it to them. Oh, by the way, they even want you to take all your previous posts from TikTok and download them, and they show you step by step how to do that. So they're infiltrating everything that America didn't want them to infiltrate. And oh, by the way, guess what? Now I'm learning Mandarin. I'm getting to meet new friends in China. When I was on TikTok, I never met anybody who spoke Mandarin from China. Now, all of a sudden, you're pushing everybody to meet and engage and become friends with people in China. So when people in America start talking about how horrible things are when China is, with the tariffs, or how it is with China and how it's for all the money and different things that they have going on, the technology and the technology wars that we have with them, and we should be focused on American technology and not the Chinese technology. Well, if my best friend now is over there because y'all pushed me away from TikTok, I'm not going to care as much. I'm not going to be upset about that. Like, yeah, they deserve to have that. They're great people over there. So I think the reason why now everybody's turning on their head is because a red note might actually keep us with a TikTok. Like, because of the fact that everybody is getting even more infiltrated into the Chinese government, it may make it so that the American government is like, we might as well deal with the devil we know as opposed to the devil we don't know, because we didn't even know this devil was on the app. If you think about it, if it was really about China infiltrating, every app that was Chinese based should have been shut down already. You should not even be able to get any app out of the App Store that's Chinese based. So therefore, for you to even be able to download it shows it was never, ever, ever, ever about China. It was always about controlling the narrative, in my opinion, or controlling the funds. Controlling the funds, controlling the narrative. And TikTok is the only app that gives you the ability to make such great money in the way that it does. And for those of you who've never been on there, if it does end up staying, all I can say is give it a try. It's amazing. If you have your own t-shirt business, if you have your own company, like you can literally sell your t-shirts in a TikTok shop and you'll have millions of people who will sell it for you. Or you could go on there live and direct people to your storefront. Or you could be a person who is a barber and you just have the camera on you while you are cutting somebody's hair, and people will gift you money throughout the day just because of the work that you're doing. So they'll just throw money at you all day long while you just have a video going or the live going of you doing what you do. You would be surprised. There are people who are gifting everything from $1 to hundreds of dollars. Hundreds of dollars. There's some gifts on there that are like, I don't know, $500 or $600. They're pretty expensive, like US dollars. And so there's a lot of opportunity out there. So my hope is that it stays. If it doesn't, then so be it. There's still Instagram. There's still Facebook. There's still all these different apps that people can go to. A lot of people are even going to YouTube. I'm going to be one of those people that's going to start my own. Well, I've already had a YouTube channel. I just don't do anything with it. And you can always look at the Sestra-Tainment YouTube channel, by the way, shameless plug. But I'll be starting my own YouTube channel and going through different coaching moments and things to share there. So, people will spread out. It won't be the same. I'm thankful that I have a Discord community. So therefore, all the folks that I know and care about, I'll be able to still engage with, because we're all going to be outside of the app and still be able to connect with each other. But that's what I have. So I'm sorry I'm so passionate about TikTok. But there's so much that is going on there. And I've had a TikTok shop. I've been gifted on TikTok. I go live on TikTok. I make posts on TikTok. I can get to a point that I can get compensated on my posts on TikTok. All I would need to do is post something and people could throw me change from that. So it's like 7 different ways people can get monetized on there. And that, I think, is another, challenge for our government. So on that note, I'm done with my TikTok speech. I won't sing anymore. But all right, what you got next, sis?
All right, so what I have next is from Netflix. You can watch on Netflix or you can rent it on Amazon Prime, and this is called It Ends With Us.
Oh, I have heard about that.
Yeah, so this is like a book that they turned into a movie.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go over the characters, because there is the movie that I want to talk about, and then the drama from the movie that I want to talk about.
Nice.
Oh yeah!
Like, I'm ready for it.
All right, so you have Blake Lively as Lily Bloom.
Okay.
All right, and her love interest is Justin Baldoni, who goes by the name of Ryle Kincaid in the movie.
Okay.
Her best friend is Jenny Slate, who plays Alyssa, who is Ryle's sister.
Okay.
Then also you have Hassan Minhaj, who plays Marshall, who is Alyssa's boyfriend. I was going to say
Marsha. I was like, Marsha.
And then next you also have Brandon Skellner. Yeah, Skellner.
Okay.
He plays Atlas, who is Lily's childhood sweetheart, childhood love.
Okay.
So basically what it is, you got Lily, you're following her. Now she comes home because her mother lets her know that her father passed away, so she has to be there for the eulogy, and her part of the eulogy was it's supposed to be 5 things that she's supposed to write about what she's going to love and miss about her father.
Okay.
She had nothing written down.
Sad.
So then the mother's like, come on, you just, write down 5 things. And she's just like, yeah, I don't think I have any 5 things or anything like that.
She didn't have one.
Yeah, she didn't have one. So from there, she's going out, and after the funeral, she goes and she always breaks into this, I guess this apartment complex. She always breaks in.
Okay.
Because she likes to sit on the roof because of the sights. It's a good area for her to see the whole city. So as she's sitting up there, this guy comes. He busts through the door. He's kicking the table. He's kicking over a chair, and he looks up and he was like, you see him fix the chair. He was like, the chair made me do it. Like the chair is the reason for my problems. And then they have a little giggle back and forth, and then it kind of gets to where they're flirting with each other, and then it gets to where they're about to do some things.
Okay.
Get to know each other biblically.
Okay. Biblically.
Yes. But as that's happening, a phone call comes through, both of them have to leave. So now, you see Lily, she's walking around, she's trying to find somewhere, she's trying to open up a business. She finds this nice area, calls them, hey, I'm trying to look inside. She's a florist.
Okay.
So she's trying to find a shop. As she's trying to figure all this stuff out to write her lease and everything, a lady comes by and she's like, hey, what is this going to be? I've always wanted to see inside of here. And she tells her oh yeah, I'm working on it. I just signed the papers today. It's going to be a florist shop. She's like, ugh. Oh, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have seen my face like that. But that's awesome. That's awesome. That's what you're going to do. She's like, but I don't know how it's going to go. Basically. And then she's like, well, do you need help? She was like, well, I can't really pay anybody now. She was like, oh, that's okay. That's fine.
Why would I want to hire you or have you help me even as for free when you're like, ugh?
Yeah. So I saw it as, if you ever seen the TV show Will and Grace.
Yeah.
Alyssa is her Karen.
Oh, okay.
Alyssa doesn't have to work. Alyssa has money.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Alyssa's wearing Ferragamos to work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so therefore, it's that's what I said. It's like a Will and Grace type thing where it's just like the rich lady's there because she needed to have a job.
Yeah, just something to do.
Yeah, she needed a job. So then after that, who walks in is her boyfriend and her brother. And then her brother and Lily kind of act like they don't know each other. Hey, it's nice to meet you. And then the brother's kind of like, no, we've already met before. You don't have to lie about this. We met on the rooftop. He's like, yeah, she broke into my building. She's like, wait, hold on a second. Back this up. But he's persistent of trying to take her out on a date, And she's like, my friends don't have to take me out on dates. My friends can just walk with me. My friends can just do this. My friends don't have to pay. I can pay for myself. Right. Things like that. And he's just still trying. So then finally he gets with her, but then that's when it turns dark. Yeah. It is the accidental hits, the accidental smacks in the face. So he's going to take something out of the oven because it's burning. And I think they have a little miscommunication where, they're not understanding each other. Okay. And he goes to pull something out. And she's like, no, use the pot holder. She's going to hand it to him, and he swings his hand back because it was hot and smacks her in the face. So then it's like, now people are seeing her and it's like,
what happened?
Yeah, you good? And she's like, oh no, it's just an accident, blah, 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 blah. Now, while she's on a date with her husband and her new, well, not her husband, but her boyfriend.
When the husband happened. Okay.
Her boyfriend and the new best friend.
Yeah.
And her husband, as they're all on a date, she sees this guy, Atlas. Mm-hmm. Now, Atlas was her, like, sweetheart, like, the one that got away. I guess both of them were the ones that got away from each other. Mm-hmm. So she is, seeing him, and she sees him, notices him, and then she keeps her head down the entire time when he comes up to the table and asks some questions. So she pretends like she doesn't know him either. Mm. And he's just like, all right. So then from there, they don't have any, words back and forth, nothing like that.
Did she do that because of the guy?
See, I don't know, if it's because of how they broke up or whatever. Yeah. That was her one true love. So then it comes later on, and it's like she's going to the bathroom, and who's right behind her? Atlas is right there, having a whole conversation with her, like, "Yo, so
what's up?
Hey, I haven't seen you in so many years. What's going on with him? Who is he, and why is he putting his hands on you?" Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Oh no, that's like this is all an accident, blah blah blah." But you can see the anger in his eyes, and it just keeps getting worse. And they keep going back to the same restaurant. Why? If you don't want to see him, don't go to the restaurant. Yeah. So anyway, but this is the story of the progression of how she keeps going from being like it was an accident to being like, "Oh no, I saw this wrong," like. Mm-hmm. Like, because the dude would hit her and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, my hand slipped, or I did this, did that." And then immediately she's like, "Okay, all right, yeah, no, it's just an accident." And it wasn't back to back, it was spaced out. Mm-hmm. But it just kept getting worse and kept getting worse. And now it's her trying to figure out what her next steps are. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to get into everything that happens. Like, all of that just talked about, first, 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but yeah, I'm not going to get into all of the nitty gritty because that will give up the movie.
Yeah, we can't have that.
But basically, if you go into the movie, what you think is going to happen, it's going to happen because it's already one of those movies. It's like, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But it is good. It is very good. And also, when you see the very ending and how all of that comes into play, I think it's pretty good. So I think it's not a movie that you have to watch. It's good.
Okay.
But it's not like my next film where I'm like, everybody got to watch this.
Okay, so it's not a good or not.
It's not a good or not.
It's good if you want to watch something.
Yeah. If you was like, "Oh, what is this about? Yeah. Should I watch it?" Yeah, you can watch it.
But it can be triggering.
Yeah, it can be triggering. Okay. And then also it's just, you're already going to know what's happening. So,
did you say there was drama, some other drama?
Yes.
Okay. So, I didn't want to miss the other drama. That was the part
thank
I was
you
waiting
for reminding me.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
So now, the drama is, after the movie came out, it was December the 21st. Blake Lively puts out allegations of sexual harassment. Oh. On December 31st.
I did see something about that on Google.
And that was towards Jason Baldoni. Oh. So then on the 31st, she sued him. Oh. She put in to sue him. Mm-hmm. Later on that day, he went back to try to sue her.
I did see that he tried to sue her.
Yeah, so now they're just in a battle.
So is he suing her? She's suing him for harassment. Is he suing her for slander, defamation of character?
Yep. But she talks about things that happened. So it was just, but I think it was her and multiple people who were talking about some things that had happened. And I know one of the things said that it was a passionate moment that they had for the movie. And then afterwards, he was just still saying little slick snot remarks out of his mouth. And she's like, "Okay, the scene's over. You can relax."
Yeah. Exactly.
Then he'll be like, "What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything gaslighting her." Yeah. So something similar to that is what my understanding is. So now they're going back and forth. So it might make people want to watch the movie more so they can see what's happening. It might be like a rat beef.
I don't know. Maybe
might be like a rat beef. So. Yeah. But that's all I had for that. Okay. Check it out. Like I said, it's on Netflix. This Ends With Us. And you can also rent it on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had two I don't know if they're hot topics or not, but just
Hot topics.
I know, right? 2 things in the news. Well, not even in the news. One of them is, I found out today it's Aaliyah's birthday, so I thought that was pretty cool. And they're actually going to be making a Barbie doll. And like an Aaliyah Barbie doll.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, because there's still people who like dressed like Aaliyah to this day. And I mean, young people who weren't even around when Aaliyah was here that will dress like her. And then today I happen to be on TikTok because I do that. I've already established this, people. And so I went to a girl's page and she had on a Aaliyah, Angel Cyborg. I don't know if you remember her, the one who acts like robotic, like a, a cyborg. And so basically when I went into her room, it was like she was just getting it started and it was like 16 people in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, she has like spray painted Aaliyah shirt on with her face and everything on it. And I was like, love the Aaliyah shirt. She was like, do you love it? I just got it and it's for her birthday and blah, blah, blah. And she's an icon and she's amazing and she would be Beyonce right now if she hadn't passed. And, so there's a whole thing. So for anybody who is not familiar with Aaliyah's work, what rock have you been under? I would hope that you would participate, but they were like, baby girl. Yeah. So it's her birthday. The other thing I was just going to say is that NASA has 2 astronauts
stuck
that went into,
Are they stuck?
Yeah.
But
you just
I didn't know they were stuck. I didn't know they were stuck.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
As I talk about TikTok and me finding out information from TikTok that I feel like the U.S. government or media doesn't want us to know, I watch TV. I mean, I don't watch all the news because it's too depressing, but I do it like a Today Show,
Yeah.
And lo and behold, before I ever heard this on the Today Show, which just was this past week for the first time, I heard about a month ago, and I was like, this needs to be talked about, that 2 people are stuck at the International Space Station. They literally went, let's talk about the story here, okay?
Yeah, how long?
So we have 2 people, astronaut Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, traveled to the International Space Station on June 5th of last year, on board a Boeing Starliner in a mission that was supposed to last. Guess how long it was supposed to last, sister?
A week, 2 weeks.
8 days. Oh. So you were right, a week.
A week.
So it was supposed to last 1 week.
And you said June?
In June 5th.
Makes it even worse. There's a whole nother month before.
And so it said, but there were issues with the Boeing Starliner spacecraft after they docked to the International Space Station. So therefore it had to return to the Earth without them. So it left them there because as it docked, it got damage to it and they couldn't confirm that they would be able to survive coming back into the Earth's atmosphere on this particular thing that's been damaged. So therefore they were like, well, and it landed. I mean, it came back fine. I don't think anything actually did end up happening to it. So now what they are trying to do is to have them come back. They are working with SpaceX to try to send SpaceX up there to get them and have them come back. But SpaceX has been having issues and malfunctions that aren't allowing it to safely go up there. And so therefore it says here, the 2 have spent birthdays, U.S. elections, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They were able to vote. So somehow, some way, I don't know how, I'm sure if somebody had lost, they would say that those 2 votes would have been the winning votes that would have given them the opportunity, or that, oh, by the way, those 2 votes, if they can vote from the space station, then obviously it's fixed, it's rigged. But I digress. So anyway, it says a resupply spacecraft that carried special items could come up there. So they end up having items and they have enough oxygen, food, water, clothes, all of that for them to stay ongoing.
So you can send up items, but you can't.
I guess it's not big enough to bring them back. And, oh, by the way, I mean, yeah, I guess, it says the resupply spacecraft. Oh, sorry, their resupply spacecraft. Sorry, I read that wrong. So the one that they went up there with had all those things on there. Okay. So they were bringing it to resupply the International Space Station. And so therefore they had already moved everything over before it came back.
They
so
still
that's
had
what it was.
this
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I read that incorrectly. And so they were supposed to return back in January, actually a number of times, but it's always been pushed back. They were supposed to have the most recent scheduled journey. It was January, then they moved it to February, and now it's delayed again.
How long can you be in space?
I'm just wondering how their body is going to feel.
That's what I'm saying. Well, how long can you be in space? Because they said after a while your heart
what is
turns
his name?
into
Mark
a
Gifford,
circle.
the guy, Gabby Gifford's husband, the astronaut of the woman who got shot in the head. That's a congresswoman. Okay,
I do know who she is.
Yeah, but her husband, who was running, I think he ran for president for a moment or two, or vice president. No, he was going to be potentially a candidate for vice president. But anyway, he was, I think, one of the people who had been up there the longest. So you'd probably have to Google how long he was up there. Okay. Because I feel like they had to reacclimate him to gravity.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And being able to walk in pressure chambers and all that kind of stuff, I feel like. But it says that SpaceX rocket was supposed to take them back to Earth. So it's getting rescheduled because they're having issues as well. They're saying that, they're doing testing. There's things going on with the fabrication of the spacecraft. Because they want to ensure that these folks do come back safely, they are painstakingly making sure that all the requirements that are needed are taken care of so that whenever they get on any apparatus to come back, that they're good to go. The two of them are funny enough, very good spirits. Every time you see them talking, they're smiling, they're happy, they're doing well.
I mean, I would too, because there's no way for me to get back if I'm not happy and everything. If I start cussing y'all out, how do I know you're not going to leave me there?
They'll get the one and not the other one. Yeah. But they said that everybody is calling them almost castaways, like the Tom Hanks movie. And they're saying that they personally do not feel like they've been abandoned. They said, of course, we want to go home. We left our families a while ago to come here thinking it was a short trip. And you're excited. Like you're an astronaut and you're literally getting ready to go into space. So you're just like, oh, this is actually happening for me. And then to realize, well, I wanted to come to space, but not for almost a year. And so I just can't believe nobody is talking about it. Like nobody was talking about it. And then it just happened to be that I was looking at the Today Show this week and one of the folks was talking about it, but not even that was the major story. It was more about how, I think it was something dealing with the spacecraft trying to get them and that it was going to be delayed, but it wasn't really feeling like it was more like about them and their struggle of being up there as much as it was about, and then there's the spacecraft. They can't get to these people up there. So it was almost felt like an afterthought. But anyway, they did to, in my opinion, appease them. Because of course they're going to say all the right things when news camera crews and people are talking to them, but they might still feel differently any other, day of the week. But what I feel like they did to appease them is they did have the female Sunny to do a spacewalk. So she actually went out and they said made a repair on the International Space Station. But I'm feeling like, hey, if I'm out there, I might as well be out in space and floating and doing that. So it could be that it's like, oh, now it's her turn to do that. And then if they turn around and then say in 2 or 3 weeks that he needs to do it too, then I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, that was just so that y'all can say, let's give you something to do. While you're out there.
Busy work.
Well, and also an experience of a lifetime, right? Because they were never supposed to do a spacewalk. They were supposed to just go inside and deliver supplies, stay a couple of days, get the experience, and come back. Yeah. And instead, it is months later. So anyway, just wanted to share that because, again, I just think there's a lot of people who have no idea that is what has happened. 371 days is the longest. Frank Rubio.
For American. There was 400 and something days for a Russian.
400 and something for a Russian. Okay, yeah. So 371 days. So they're not there yet. But June does feel like it could be right around the corner when you think about it when they aren't having any.
Because it is.
Yeah, I mean, it is January, so 6 months almost, but still.
I felt like Christmas came right after New Year's. I swear.
Right, after the 4th of July.
Yeah, after the 4th of July, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that's all I had was just information in regards to a few hot topics.
Hot topics.
All right, so what you got, sis?
My last thing that I want to talk about is this movie that I watched, this TV show that I watched on Apple TV. It was amazing.
Okay.
It's called Disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that.
So it got my girl Kate Blanchett in it.
Yes.
She plays Catherine Ravenscroft. All of these names, all these names, it's all British.
Okay.
But all these names are like, when was this book written? Because all the names are like names, noble names, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, it feels like an episode of Bridgerton.
Yeah, but it's not. It's modern day. Also, you have Kevin Kline, your boy.
Oh, I love Kevin Kline.
You have him in here as Stephen Brigstock.
No, of course.
You have Sacha Baron Cohen, who is the husband of Catherine Ravenscroft, who is Robert. The wife of Stephen Bridgestock is Leslie Manville, and a lot of people may know her. She's been on quite a few BBC shows, but if you've seen the movie Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, that lady's right there.
Okay.
Yeah. And she plays Nancy. Now, they have a son who's Jonathan, who's played by Louis Partridge.
An Empire Treat. Sorry.
Okay. And then you also have a narrator. So the narrator is Indira Varma. Okay. Now you've seen her on stuff before too. Yeah, you know her name. You've seen her on things before as well. She's been in like the Mission Impossibles, like the Rome movie. She's been in quite a few things. She's I don't know how many times she's been a lead actress in an American movie, but but she's always.
Did you say Game of Thrones? She was in that.
Oh yeah, she was in Game of Thrones for the Sands.
Yep, she was the Sands lady. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So but I will tell you this: it is a roller coaster. So now you have Catherine, who is a journalist, a documentary journalist and everything. So she is working on her stuff. She's just won some awards. She's big. She's out there.
Okay.
And then she gets a novel sent to her in the mail. Mm-hmm. Now, the novel is a love story that ends in tragedy, written by a woman who is telling, I guess, a story that she saw it as. And the story actually ends up being Catherine's love affair that she had with their son, Jonathan.
What?
Yes. So, you see this young boy and his girlfriend. They're together on a train.
Yeah.
They're knowing each other biblically.
Okay.
Then they get the knock on the door. They have to stop and show their tickets. He's standing up holding the blanket over him. The girlfriend's laying there. She's like, are you serious? Like, give me the blanket. Like, this man can see all of me. Like, what are you doing? So he gives him the tickets. She pulls the blanket off of him. She's like, you idiot. Like, why would you do that? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I thought it was funny how he was just staring at you. She's like, okay, whatever. So they go back to knowing each other biblically. Mm-hmm. So as that's happening, they get to Paris. They get to Italy. They're going to all the different places, and then her aunt. Then she gets a phone call that her aunt has passed away. So now she tells her boyfriend, "Hey, I have to go. I have to leave you. You know, my aunt has passed away. It's time for me to roll." So he lets her go, and that is it. But then he meets this woman on the beach and starts taking pictures of her. Now this is back in the day. This is not present time. So this is going back and forth.
Okay.
But you don't realize that because you don't know exactly what's going on because it starts off going back and forth.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he's taking pictures of this woman, and then the woman comes up to him and starts talking to him, and then from there it becomes sexually explicit.
Well,
we'll say that. It does get into a lot of sexually explicit things like that. But how the book is written makes, like, Catherine reading it, and she's like, oh my God, like, this is the story about when I went to Italy with my son and my husband. My husband had to leave early. This is that story, but it makes me look like a whore. So now she's going back and forth, trying to figure out what's going on. And she talks to her husband about it. He's already read the book, and she's just like, this is what was sent to me, and she's all upset. And he's like, well, this is just a book. The boy, her son, has already read the book. So he was just like, yeah, the woman in there's a whore and blah, 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 blah. So he's just going off and off about the woman.
Husband?
Not the husband, the son.
Oh, the son is going off about the woman.
Yes.
Okay, and who wrote the book?
It's you find out that the book is written by.
Do we need to know? Like, I mean, don't.
I can't remember if you know at the beginning or not. So
okay, so let's not spoil anything.
Yeah.
But you do find out at some point who it's written by. Who knows the story?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, with that, it's now going into the son knowing, but the son knowing about the book, but not putting together that it was his mother. Then it goes into the husband finding out things because of pictures. Pictures are sent to his job.
So somebody is literally trying to annihilate this
woman. Just
rip her
completely rip her apart. And all of this, like, if you just watch the first couple of episodes and be like, it's not going anywhere. No. When you get to that last 2 episodes, then you find out the nitty gritty. You get really into what is going on.
Interesting.
So you have to stick through the whole thing. All 7 episodes, 7, 8. I think it's 7 episodes. Have to stick with it. But I would say that the writer of the book, Renee Wright, she did amazing by how she worded it together, and also Alfonso Cuarón, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he did great of taking it from a book to write into a screenplay. So them together make it amazing. Yeah, some people were saying that they didn't like how it was the narrator talking. You never see the narrator the entire movie.
Throws it off a little bit.
But that's what they're saying, but I don't see it like that. It sounds like the narrator is doing it as if they're interviewing the people.
Okay.
And they're answering the questions, but you will never see it. It's other things that are happening as you hear this. Mm-hmm. So now you don't know if she actually interviewed them, if she's writing a book, what is going on. You don't know any of that. You just know there's a narrator and you don't know why. But you get to know why, like, towards the end. Okay. It finds out everything. Okay. Puts it all together.
And you said 7 episodes, so it's not super long.
Yeah, it's 7 episodes, but it's just these 2 families against each other, basically. And it's also is like everything that's said in the beginning, is that fact or is this fiction? And then everything that's said in the end, is that fact or is this fiction? Where how it all ties into each other, and where the 2 sons end up with this whole situation. Gotcha. So it's good. I like it. Okay. I think it's really good. It was definitely one of those, like how to explain it? You put, like, I don't know how to explain it. It was definitely a shock and awe. I had quite a few shock and awe moments. Mm-hmm. Like mouth drop, like, get out of here. Like I'm literally saying this out loud. So
that's not, yeah.
So I don't really normally do that, but that's what I had. So please check it out. It is called Disclaimer. It is on Apple TV.
Okay, great. Well, we only have a couple of minutes left, so I'm just going to talk about one small thing that I just thought of that I didn't bring up last week, that I'll just bring up today. But it was that Hoda Kotb left the Today Show.
Yes.
And so as you're getting our kind of music together, I just wanted to share that Hoda was a person who has always been like a ray of sunshine and light, and everybody likes Hoda. Nobody ever says anything negative about Hoda, and she's amazing. And so, like, she was, somebody else had said on there that, she's the person that when people come and are on the show, they're like, Hoda, let me give you my number. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like she doesn't even have to ask. Yeah, so it's like, oh yeah, I happen to have Drew Brees' number, and I happen to have J-Lo's number, and I happen to have this person's number.
Because she's such a sweet lady.
Because she's such a sweetheart, right? And so she decided to take a step back from the most prestigious role that you can have in television news, which is to be a co-anchor or anchor of a TV show like Good Morning America or the Today Show, CBS This Morning, whatever the case may be. And she decided, you know what? My girls are getting older. They're like, I don't know, 6 and 8 or 9. And she was like, I need to be there for them. I'm 60.
Yeah, exactly.
I had them very,
I don't know why.
Yeah, when I was older.
Why would you do that to yourself?
So, but the thing was that she always wanted to be a mother, and she said that she thought she was going to get married, and she was going to find her person, and that they were going to have kids, and she never found her person. So she said, do you go through life when you have the means to just say, I'm not going to be a mom, or do you decide, hey, I'm going to adopt some children.
Yeah.
And they're so cute. If you see them,
precious.
you would not know they're not actual sisters.
Yeah,
like they look exactly alike. And it's great because Hoda is Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore they even have like Egyptian look and they're just so adorable. And she originally adopted them with her partner Joel, but then they since broke up. So then she's like, okay, I'm a single mom. I'm taking care of these kids. I'm utilizing my mom to watch them. Yeah. And I'm off at work at 2, 3 in the morning to be ready for the Today Show at 7 a.m. And then I'm calling them before I go on the first commercial break. Every day she would call them before they went to school and talk to them on FaceTime. Her mom's taking them to the school, like all that. And she's like, I'm missing moments and I need to be there for them. So she has taken a step back from the co-anchor desk. Now Craig Melvin has stepped up into that role. And then she actually will be doing some special commentary.
Right, good. So she's
for
not
the Today
fully,
Show. She's not 100%
fully
gone,
retired,
but it's almost like she's on a very part-time basis that will allow her to step back.
So, Hoda, you want to go to such and such and do this? Can I bring my kids?
They already said that.
Yeah, can I bring my kids?
Literally, she was like, guess what, y'all? I'm going to be Snoop Dogg at the Olympics.
That's
what I like. So they're bringing me back to do the Olympics. So I already know the LA Olympics. I'll be there. And she said, I'm assuming it's like a Snoop Dogg role. I'm just going to go around and talk to people and interact and have fun and all of those kind of things. So I'm excited for her, just knowing when it's time. A lot of people would feel like, no, I can't do that. I'm in a role that other people would literally kill somebody for.
Yeah.
And I am here and I'm just giving it away freely. But everybody who knows her just knows that that's the kind of person that she is.
And they talked to Craig. They did his I guess initiation day. Where his family, his wife, his kids, his daughter and his son, his brother and his mom and dad that all came. Yeah. And he would cry like a little baby.
Of course. Craig is always emotional. Yeah. He's always little emotional. And interestingly enough, Hoda was slightly emotional. I think when
she was ready to go.
You are doing this for your girls.
Yeah.
Like she cried the most when they were sitting on her legs, like on her lap. And Kermit the Frog was singing Rainbow Connection because she said is her favorite song. She sings it to her kids every night. And she said as she was riding into work on her last day, she was listening to the Rainbow Connection. So she said when Kermit was singing that, like that's when she really broke down. But you had Jamie Lee Curtis giving her stuff. Like everybody was just showing up for her. So she's amazing. So I just wanted to take a moment to just speak to Hoda. Congratulations, job well done, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, all right.
So everybody have an amazing week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.